everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to be playing some Chandra time spell duplication, Rakdos ramp, whatever you would like to call it. But basically our game plan is to wipe the board, keep the creatures off the battlefield early and in kind of that mid to late range game until we can find a Chandra or a Breach of Multiverse, put one of them in the battlefield or on the stack along with an Italian Virtue to overrun our opponents, especially some of the more mid-rangey decks that are kind of trying to play a slower game. Well, every time they load the board, we just fear it with a Burn Down the House or a Brotherhood End if we can, and then we just lead into that Chandra into play into the big spells. I will let you know, this deck actually performed very well today. I think this deck normally in best of one is not that good, but this version is playing Brotherhood End in a lot harder removal early game, so it actually performed very well today. So it was very exciting. Last note I will say, at the very end before the outro, I do ask a question about filming some paper content. If you're all interested, if you don't want to watch that long to get to that point, just go ahead and skip ahead. I promise I won't be mad. But if you enjoy my content either way, please be sure to subscribe. I truly appreciate it. I've been getting a lot of love lately and it's been fantastic for me, and it just makes me know my content's being enjoyed. So I'll catch y'all after the games in the outro. Thanks for watching. Ooh. The opponent goes first. I mean, I think our hand's a little too top heavy. Well, speaking of top heavy, it's kind of the problem with the deck in general, no? It always seems to be a little top heavy. At least we found a go for the throat to have some action here. Kind of connect us to Celestis and then hope our big score can kind of gather us along the way. A good roll would be best case, I think. Ooh, treasure token. Now we have to kind of be careful. We got post. Sure. Oh boy, we need a Brotherhood End is exactly the term I was looking for. So should be fine now. Pretty much this is the Convoke deck if you haven't been able to tell. So here, like, I'll just come through in case you try to monster raise something. 2 damage shouldn't break the bank. We want to be able to remove their bigger stuff here. Yeah. You want to Convoke anything? No? Get that off the board and not have to worry about it anymore. Next turn, if we find land, which is best case scenario, we can play Celestis and then hold up, go for the throat. And then maybe big score instead. Unsure, get to the Burn Down the House. But something tells me I think our opponent doesn't want to play anymore. Goes first. I mean, kind of need to just draw something though. I think this is fine. Got plenty of lower stuff to draw. We just need to draw it. Off sleeper, not too worried about it. The only thing I'm really worried about right now is a bat. Second involved sleeper doesn't really have me worried. See a pump here. We'll see an attack. Just need to survive long enough to get to Burn Down the House. Point. Doesn't really matter if these get too large. We need to be able to answer Shieldreds, things like that. This can answer them all pretty much, which is actually kind of nice. 2 mana pump here. Well, they don't have the mana to check the next one. Well, if that's the turn, we'll just take away 3 of the damage. We'll let that pump, no problem whatsoever. They already played a land drop here, so they hit. That's fine with me. We'll play this. We'll play Celestis. Now we kind of hope they commit to the board. If not, the Burn Down the House is a little bit worse. Maybe a Shieldred here. Maybe a Gix. Just really about anything in general. Burn Down the House is kind of where we want to be. Really onto the Veil. I guess I let Archfiend go. I think big score is way too important to get to this Breach of Multiverse. Burn Down the House answers everything here. So again, let Archfiend go. Archfiend's obviously a good threat as well. I would have loved to get like rid of a land or something. I just don't think we could afford to do so. Italy, that's pretty cool. Is this only out of the cards we pick? Most of the cards for each player choose player's graveyard. So Liliana minusing isn't at or plussing isn't actually that bad. We just answer both of these though and just bide our time. I think the answer is actually no. Turn. You think the Gix command us? That'd be crazy, no? Suitable to discard here. I think I just want to play the Atali. Let them just hit their own hand. So no Gix is possible here. I mean, if they play one more creature at this point, yeah, I'll just barrel. Each player discards a card. Sure. So the last card in their hands will land, I would assume. Virtue. Okay. Okay. Realistically, I might be getting too greedy here. I think I just let this hit and I just burn down the house. Like a little part of me is like, oh, but I could. You know what I'm saying? I think I just burn down the house and just clean all this up immediately. It's like, of course I could bring back a Tali, but then what does that really do for us? You know? Maybe they do play Breach and I'll just rip one off the top. Mirix is the only option now. Just make it ahead of time instead of wasting time. I appreciate that, but I'm gonna fire this off. Now everything's good. Everything's I'll take that. I'll take this. We're both Archfiend decks. This is not legendary, by the way. You ready to see something absolutely stupid? For whatever reason, when they printed this card, our lovely folks over at Wizards decided that this card did not need to be legendary. So our Atali hit was another copy. So when our Atali hits, they can't even block. So Atali's going to hit for 7. You're going to double that and then double that again. So you would think, 14 into 21. No, it's going to go into 14 into 28 total damage just off one little smack right here. So that's really cool. I guess they concede. I wonder why. What's higher mana cost we want our hand to be? Sure. We'll find it, right? Right, team? Really, I'm kind of holding this because, like, name a better card to pitch to a big score along with, like, the card to have that as the payoff. But looks like we're against Domain, so it's going to be a tough sell to begin. I'm gonna let it land. That's pretty. Glass is, like, poking my eyeballs out. I don't know what's happening. Play Demolition Field. We'll pass. I mean, they obviously have plenty of basics. I don't think that's ever going to be the problem. But it does look more like Bant control than anything else. There's like two types of Domain. There's one that's a little bit more just blue, white, and green. Then the more 4-color variation. One like heavily leaning on Atraxa. The other one not as much. A little more on the board state of the game. So we will land here. We'll play an Archfiend. I don't know what on earth they're thinking of grabbing here. Like, just grab your lands, please. What? Let's see. Wow, did you know that, chat? If they don't do anything and use your demolition field, they don't even get the option to search. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if they come back? They didn't get a land off their Stomper and they're missing a land? We learned today. We learned together. Oh, well, I mean, spoilers, chat. I'm in PJs. Look at these. Look at these little polar bear PJs. You know what I'm saying? Look all sophisticated with my messy ass hair and my hoodie, you know? I got the PJs on. We'll try. Like a weird hand, right? Because it feels so good when these pieces connect, like where you get to go land in the Blackleaf Cliffs and the Iron Crag, then big score on their instep. But if they're aggro, we never get that chance, so we just die and everything feels sad and scary. Oh, one of these cliffs are going to come and tap or be our pitch card. Play Iron Crag like we plan to do, and now they'll play Rafine. A doctor. So here's one of the big problems that we're going to have here. Next turn, they get to hold up good cards. Or I'll put all the counters on Rafine, and I won't be able to do anything about it. And that will suck. That will suck. Big poopy. Do we just go ahead and do it now to ensure they can't really counter it? No, I think the answer is no. I think we just wait. We can still resolve to burn down the house if they don't find what they're looking for here. Well, Decklist, I guess, can get... Well, they bend 2 cards to make it massive. And them attacking like this and putting resources on the Rafine kind of gives me... They do not. Okay. They're flooded, maybe? Children. Dude, the chef couldn't cook it up any better, you know? We will play a... We'll take a Blackleaf Cliffs here. We might need this Field of Ruin to get this plaza off the board at a later time. There's a Children. We'll take our draw. You think they concede here? I would consider it if I were them. Let's play this Field of Ruin. Do this. And let's go ahead and say 5 damage to all creatures. Get all that out of there. And yeah, I guess we'll pass. Yeah. Seems good. If they play a creature that's like a little too threatening, well, maybe we'll just answer that on our upkeep. We don't have to answer that using our treasure tokens. We'll keep these for our big boy spells. Let us use Edict. Why Edict is good. When they muddy up the board, you might not be able to get the value off the Edict, so we want to actually have our removal spell. This is really only worse against like Rafine, so we're not really that concerned about it. On this instep here, we'll most likely pop the plaza just to make sure they won't have any indestructible stuff going on. Let's do this. Get this out of here. We'll grab another black source. Maybe they'll float a mana, just flash in something now, but this screams to me, because they didn't play the Decklist, that they're holding up the flash guy that counters the spell. I never remember its name. They don't get a land? I mean... If that's the case, like, by all means, I'm going for it. You have Shieldreds in the yard that I want to play with. Maybe they have an answer for the Virtue. Who knows? Oh, no, they do. Oh, no, they don't. I lied. Yeah. Okay, so, thoughts? You think that's their only basic? It could be. They do not play a lot. They do not play a lot. I thought maybe they milled one. Maybe they have one in the hand. But this is 2 times today that my land destruction spell has just been a wasteland. Well, it's even better, right? Because I get a basic. I don't even know. I blew up their land and I got a basic and they got nothing. So I feel really happy about it. My opponents, maybe not so much. We go first. This is all great. This is all great. We have the removal. We have another removal. Breach, obviously a long time coming, but I can't really argue with what our hand is currently, especially if they're aggro. Blue black. This could be, yeah, that deck. Whatever you want to call that deck. Let's play another Cliffs here. We play Malcolm in a lot of flash stuff, so we probably won't see much in regards to anything else here. They attack first and don't crack the map. That tells me Malcolm is definitely on the way. There's just no other. Let's do this. This will be the creature they sack it any other case ever. So get it off the board. We'll land, throw up the Celestis. We'll accelerate. They'll play Malcolm and just do a lot of shenanigans while they're going about their turn. Surprise, surprise. The blue-black flash deck has Malcolm always on turn 2. Get a counter. They bend. We just have to be able to pay for what? Make this appear, maybe? Might bat me here. Evasion, you're going to make me discard? I mean, I'm not too opposed to what I just discarded. Get the demolition field out. They draw a card. Do this. I mean, realistically, we want to get Malcolm off the board, so let's just do that. Don't want any shenanigans. They could play Render and Nert, I guess, and that would be bad. They put the big bird in the yard, so it kind of implies that they might be doing it. I mean, gotta let Breach go, right? Because we gotta continue to hit our land drops. I haven't seen these decks play Invasion like ever, so I'm kind of just getting floored by it here. Turn. Put a climb, we'll gain that life. Tap out for something else. Because I probably should have big scored to begin with, but I chose not to. I mean, sure. Map number 1. Okay. This does give us information. Find another land. Not really the information we want. But let's get rid of this last card. There you have it. If they don't counter this, they won't have a counter for whatever we draw. Oh, why need a counter if we don't draw anything important? Guess realistically, can I please activate the demolition field? That seems a lot better than whatever you were trying to get me to do. Activate the Celestis. Will most likely ban a Celestis. Okay. Doesn't shut. It shuts that off. Is it artifact? Okay. I mean, fair enough. What if we do this? Alright, I got my Celestis back. That feels good. Now, if they make us discard, we don't really care that much because it is another copy of Celestis, and they're going to find that out real fast. Sidebinder keeps throwing me off. Activated trigger ability of artifact, creature, or planeswalker. Okay. I, for whatever reason, thought this was only creature and planeswalker, but that's a Magic the Gathering reading brain, you know? If you have it, you know what I'm talking about. Let's let them Tidebinder it again. Okay. We take the action. We're looking for cards. Honestly, Focus On does not seem that good here. We'll land. I guess we could have kept a land because it's going to go back to daytime here. We'll decline. Removal. Harder removal. Field of Ruin to go said find the other red source to play harder removal. We can just draw it. We like lands. We like lands around these parts. Okay. We definitely like lands because this is going to get a little complicated. Land here. Field of Ruin is not going to ever activate My Brotherhood End ever again, so we will have to draw it. Land mono. I mean, realistically, I guess we just pop this, just cause no problems. Then is it kind of just allow whenever they put... Okay, we don't need to draw the Atalis in the mono red matchup. Are you kidding me? Name a better duo. Drawing Atalis in mono red. Or is this like anything like this? Kind of always happens that way a little bit. Where you're just like, yeah, what would be the worst thing to draw here? Ah, my most expensive card. Yes. Sure. Just give me a land, dude. Like, I'm gonna lose my mind. Oh boy. We'll do this. Get that out of the way, and we just need a red source. Most likely it'll be a black leaf cliffs, because if you know how arena is, that's how it likes to treat you. Look at that, mono red hitting more lands than me. A better duo. Here comes some monster trades finally. He's been in there, double monster trades as soon as we tap. Not afraid to cut down whatsoever. What did I say? It would finally give me the land, but it's going to be a tap one. It's almost like I play too much arena to know how it hates me, you know? And now I'm just gonna get burned out of the game. I mean, we sacrifice non-token creature, they keep the Kamano hits me for 5 or 4, and then they play with fire me for whatever, put me to 1. Oh, you don't have the other half of that? I figured you would. I mean, just not an artifact, right? It's just artifacts. I still have to play with fire, or they have a cycle that they might want to do. I don't know. But like any threat here is lethal. Can I name it any better? About a couple threats. Go first, and we already have more lands than we did in the mono red matchup. So we'll keep. Starting off with Proving Ground, then lead off with a Mountain, holding up to go for the throw. We might even play a Field of Ruin. Looks like Domain to me. So Field of Ruin led out, Mountain follow, the Celestis. The Celestis will get hit with the Leyline Binding, and all will be good in the world. All will be sad. Celestis go up, Celestis come in. They didn't have the mana for Leyline Binding because they didn't have the blue, but I would assume it's going to happen now. Nope, Topiary Stomper. That makes more sense. Theory, because how it works. But yeah, so we play land here. Argument could be like, yeah, we want to I could technically Virtue and then Brotherhood in this, but I could also play Archfiend of the Dross. They play land, they play Invasion, they Leyline Binding this, and then they hit the Invasion, they flip the Invasion, and then I'm in trouble because this doesn't cover it. If this was the bigger one, I would consider doing that. So instead, after all that talking, I'm going to end my turn. Celestis will happen. I will bin the Brotherhood in. Play Tidebinder, I swear. Hey, Leyline Binding. Woo! He knew. Get this off the board now because we know what the turn's basically going to take place as. That'll get removed. This will get Leyline Binding. And then what? Yes, I would like to draw. You can go back to where you came from the graveyard. And then we'll probably have to play Takenuma just to keep pace here. They had to play tap land anyway, so Invasion wasn't technically online, but either way. Have the blue, they have a white. Want to tax the green, I guess just this one. You know, I don't think it makes a difference. Yeah, I mean, as long as we can shut off colors and make it a little bit harder for their whatever the creature is. I can't think of it right now. Demolition Field. We can blow up another land if we want. 1, 2, blow up. We only have 3 mana after that. Guess it's just Archfiend, let it get Leyline Binding. As long as we can get these out of the way for whenever we want to stick a Virtue, I think we're good. Fiend, Archfiend, Archfiend. We could just lose to our own Archfiend too. Technically. They have enough life gain in that deck to let us just tick down on this and die. Which is like a weird thing to think about. Hey, look, Archfiend, and they still double kicked it. Oh, they only kicked it once. Never mind, they played the tap land. Takanuma. Move to combat. Let's attack. Block. Again, I think their plan is to let us die to this. Play another one. I guess we should have played the first one and then attacked. But who's counting? Sunfall. No. Fine. No Leyline Binding, please. Dang it. Dang it. Oh man, you always having the answers. What? Oh god, I hate Domain so much. This is like you play any slow deck, dude. Domain comes out of nowhere and just kicks you in the teeth. Ask you if you like it while they're doing it. Okay. And no. Get hit for 7. Think I'm scared? I kind of am, but not at the same time. There's a Mythic, so even if I do answer the board, they can make infinite tokens off that stupid thing. I do have a Demolition Field, which we will be using. Take my 7. I'll take a double kick to the face or a Herd Migration. That's tough. That is tough. I get the little Mythic action. We actually have to hold this Brotherhood in and probably pitch whatever else we find. We also have 7 mana, so it's not like we have to do anything crazy. Grab another Swamp. We have 3 more. Probably draw another basic here. I'm just guessing at this point. 5, 6, 7, 8. We're just short. So close, but so far. I mean, yeah, kind of have to, you know? Kind of have to, you know? Still have 9 damage on board. Whether they'll do it this time. They could have hit me last turn with it, and I'd be dead this turn. Yep. There it comes. I mean, I'm dead, actually. Oh, we gotta go looking. Money, if you can spot it. I have no monies. Oh, I mean. That's an Atraxagon. But yeah, if they hit us, they get to play the Archangel Wrath and then shoot me down. You can tell they have the white and the red and the black to do it. I don't think we have a chance, to be honest. We're going to draw about 4 more cards. I'm allowed to concede at this point, right, team? I don't have to play anymore. I do not have to play anymore. Here's first. We are in the almost the exact same situation with this card as we were in the mono red matchup a moment ago. So we're going to see the exact same thing. No! I was so ready for it. For their basic mountain and demolition field not to do anything. Toxic. Phyrexian? Just Phyrexian Fight Club? That would suck. Play land. We have multiple removal spells, so we can not allow this to hit. I mean, they could have counter spell. Maybe I'm supposed to do this beforehand, but get out of here. Ugh. I would love to play the Celestis. I cannot let that bonk me. When it comes to poison, if you can prevent the initial start, you have a way better odds. However, will we get there? Will we get there indeed? I cannot find a stupid spot to get this dumb Celestis down. It's upsetting. Now it's like, do I just let this happen and just get to Chandra? And I think getting the Chandra makes more sense after I just said what I said. But the problem is, if I Brothers Hood in this and then they do anything to proliferate, they get to get them back, and then it's just like all that was wasted. I'd much rather them get one back here or overcommit like this and then allow me to do it after. Like counter unless I pay 3 or something. I do not know. 3 damage to each. Goes off the board. Maybe they'll cast it now. I'm just thinking of the blue and colorless spell. Just like, there it is. About time. Experimental Augury. They'll look at top cards. They'll proliferate. They'll put a little poison on me. They'll get both their little birds back. And then most likely we're going to see a double drop of the birds this turn. Which isn't necessarily the best, but realistically, this is the case. I'm going to pop this cavern. I'm going to make you have a spell or lands in your deck. I just thought about it. I'm going to force them to have the colors. Right now, if they don't have a land drop, they can't do it. But at least they also have to play their Takenuma here as well. Need a good spell off the top. Good one to play with Chandra at least. A good one to play with Chandra. Need Chandra to survive. We can -1 on Chandra here and take out both of these actually. So this deals X damage up to 2 targets. So Chandra actually gonna get us a lot of value here. Now they have to proliferate again, and they have to do it on their turn to get these back, which means they won't be able to play them both regardless. If, well, maybe they play Augury using both their Mirexes and then they play them both immediately. They make a Mirex token. Okay. Guess something's probably better than Demolition Field. I could activate Chandra, but I'm not going to because, well, they would have shielded Edict anything anyway. I don't think it matters. Fire this off. Copy it. The main thing is I didn't want them to be able to interact. Like if you're playing against a Tidebinder or something, you definitely don't want to. Yes, sir. You don't want to give them the opportunity to interact with your Chandra. So, for example, if they had 1 more mana and you're playing against Azorius or something, they have Tidebinder, please let me in here. You don't want to plus and let them shut your Chandra off completely. You want to put your spell on the stack, so they have to choose between the copy and shutting Chandra off, and you would already resolve a breach anyway, because then they only shut off your Chandra and your copy doesn't happen. And then you get to do at least 1/2 of the spell, or you plus Chandra, they do it anyway, they take your mana away, and now you have to put 1 on the stack, and if they have any interaction, I about dropped, it was about tragic. I dropped this bottle, like on my Go XLR. It's strawberry lemonade. They're pretty good. But, I forgot where I was even at now. I just had a panic attack. It's fine. Yeah, so what's opponent goes first. We got tap land into fine land. We can virtue something maybe. Then we need 1 land for big score, and then we have burn down the house, things like that. So we'll try. You know what deck I haven't played against in a while? Seeing this avatar. I actually haven't played against dinos in a minute. Kind of crazy. You have leyline binding already? You do. What a brave soul you are. Look at you go. Multi-talented. Okay, they have Besage you. I don't think we could have got a better context clue than that. Turn. I'm playing Demolition Field. Maybe they're just ban control. Wait a minute. Union? They're not just ban. I don't know what they are anymore. Please send help. As long as they're not just straight up to main. Never mind, they're straight up to main. Fight me. Fight me about it. You ready to watch them play an invasion and flip it? I am. Get your last color. Missing red. Dang. Yeah. Alright, we're gonna do this. You can go get your island. Then you'll have 5 basics in play. On turn 5, all different. I would like to take that action, yes indeed. We'll get a mountain. Mountains seem good. Play a Haunted Rage, and we'll just pass, and then watch them play what they need to play. An invasion. Fix their mana, and then there's another basic. They're cruising. They're schmoving right now. Nothing? I'll fire this off now, I guess. I pitch another big score. Not bad, not bad indeed. Alright, do we play around leyline binding or not? I mean, obviously, right? 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So we play this, we play Celestis, and then we still have 4 mana. I guess I could have played this because we can make the mana off to Celestis. But we could burn down the house, take this out, but then that absorbs our mana, and I don't really want to do that. They know leyline binding me. There's mana. You want to hit me for 4? I promise not to tell the teacher that you're hitting me. Ouchie. Alright, big score time. I'll send the Blacklead Cliffs into the ether. Okay, I'll draw more lands. It's fine. Playing against basic tribal over there. I think they don't have the mana for the Archangel Wrath. They don't have another white. That's kind of funny. Take action. Alright, I would love to find a breach. Kind of what I'm working to. Yes. This? Yeah, mana. Could pay for like a counter spell. I don't really want to. Play Cliffs. Just pass. Realistically, I'm down to kind of mill my opponent out, but it's going to be a little tough considering I'm at lower cards than them. They haven't played invasion and stuff to rip all the lands out yet. Maybe sneak attack, opponent. That one. Alright, now we wait. Still have more basics. Son of a gun. I'd love to play Chandra, but then immediately respond with playing the big score. But I'm 1 mana short of that because I thought it was funny to blow up their land. It's not funny. It's kind of funny. Yeah, let's just end turn. I got nothing else to do. They got Beseiju over there. I can smell it. Alright, you gonna play your Archangel yet? No? No. I'm not doing that yet either. Let's put Chandra on the stack. Maybe we'll slip in a Tali through here as well. So because big score is an instant speed spell, we can actually plus here. Stalker! Sneak attack! We'll duplicate the big score. Oh, don't be lands. I hate this game. We tried so hard. This is not fair. This is not fair. We're like, yeah, we can find Natalia or something, and they're like, no, you can't.
We can do this together.
Black, red, I guess. Think they have another one? Ah, they probably have another one, but what if I just force them to have another one? I haven't done anything all game. Stage you it. No, go stage you? I've been lying this whole time. What was the pause? Was it just leyline binding? Did you put it on a blank board? 32. I'm at 33. Or you're at 32. I'm at 33. And your deck's at 40. So we'll play this. We're gonna decline for now. I have no basics. Smiley face. That's a land. Do we play around Sunfall or do we not play around Sunfall? I don't want to play around Sunfall. Feels like Sunfall is the move, but I can't play around it forever, I don't think. So let's slam. I can always go for the threat my creature, by the way. Ah, sweet. We'll make 3 1/1s, and then I'll cast this for like 3. Yeah. Do this, and we'll attack with those, and then they'll cast Sunfall, and then I can blow it up with a Brotherhood in, but I will go for the throat my Atali first. Then I'll bring Atali back with the Virtue, and then it'll re-enter the battlefield. Right, team? Okay, depopulate, I'll just let it happen, I guess. 1, 2, 3. How many licks does it take to get to the center of the Tootsie Pop? You may never know. I would like to go into mine, and I would like to grab this Atali. I would like to also play this Atraxa. I would like to not cast that Brotherhood in. Atali seems good. And I don't know, like this one, maybe? Goes on to cycle. I guess I'll draw 5. It's fine. All right, it's indestructible. Turn. I gotta discard 2. Edict. I'll just head in. Go. Have Sunfall. Destructible, so I can't really do anything about it. My Atali will be gone, but I do have another one. Ossification. Cute. Would have thought. That's fine. Could have maybe channeled that instead. But I would assume at some point they have a removal spell for this Atraxa. 23, they're at 30. Now my breach doesn't even mill my opponent. Unless I do it all at once. Which is possible. Not very likely. Second ossification. Sure. So realistically, the plan at this point, right, is to grab a breach, hold it in my hand, get them low enough. How much is breach? Good question, team. Genuinely do not know. Here we go. Upper. Green. Mills 10. Okay, yeah, just not enough. I will play this, and then we will pass, I guess. Okay, I have more creatures. Finally draw a Sunfall. Another depopulate. I can't believe it. Turn. I'm going to Atali mill us both at this point. I'm just kind of hoping it hits more cards of theirs than mine. Wait. This is the key. That's it. We have the sign, chat. We have it. It's there. It's right there. I can see it. I can see it plain as day. Activate. Yes. Plus, I don't want to exile any cards. Red. I don't really want to do anything. I don't want to do anything at all, actually. I just want to pass, and I want to hold. I want to get you low enough by cycling Atalis so I can cast a Breach the Multiverse. and mill you out completely. This Leyline Binding's got to hit this Leyline Binding to hit this Chandra again, I would have to imagine. Sucks. But it also has to answer that, which could have hit Leyline Binding to hit that. So, but it doesn't matter, I guess. Does it matter? Maybe not. Sure. They don't have double black for that, too. That's kind of funny. Yeah, my turn. Archfiend. I mean, I'm gonna pressure their life total as well while I'm at it, you know. 16, 27. Know the goal. Black. Flat for 2. And I'm just gonna start this train up too. And if I have to Topiary Stomper cycle them to death, I will. But chat, I guess this is a good time as any, because I feel like our plan's pretty set forward and straight. Like we know what we want to do. But yeah, I have been thinking. Okay, I know, me thinking. Rough topic. So I was thinking, if I was to play Magic the Gathering in paper, would we want that at all? You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I do work at a store, and we are going to be playing, like, Standard and stuff. And I know, like, I'm a Standard channel. I think it's a little bit weird when you start, like, switching, like, oh, you're playing this or you're playing this now. But instead, I would just be playing more Standard. I'm going to decline all that. We have one more Breach in our deck, so if we draw it, it's over, I think. Based on how much mana we have. Another Archfiend, but we'll just go to combat. We'll hit for a ton. But I have the capability, like at the shop, to actually record the content if we really wanted to. So if anybody wants to let me know if that would be something they're interested in, I would gladly do it. If I can do it. So yeah, if they're playing Jace, I'm screwed. I just thought about that. Has to depopulate. Sure. But again, if that's something you're interested in, please let me know. I'll gladly do something about it. My turn. Back, I guess. I'm gonna keep bringing the Archfiends back because they actually hit for a ton more. Play here. I think Tidebinder is possible. I'm gonna go for it, I guess. Okay. But yeah, I will be able to play in paper, and I'll actually be able to play with people. We'd have face cams, we'd have like life total and stuff up. It would just be me and a couple friends. It wouldn't be too serious because I think playing super serious all the time with your friends is not that great. So obviously it'd be a little bit of trolling. But I can use like a random day out of the week, whatever day kind of does the worst, I guess. Or days that I could maybe take off. The day I would probably play would be like a Tuesday, or like maybe a Saturday or something to do it, or maybe even like Commander games could potentially be in there. But it would only ever take over one day at all. That would be it. So I don't know if that's interesting to anybody, but I wanted to bring it up at some point. I'll probably bring it up a couple of times. Just let me know in the comments if you're cool with that or what, and we'll see what happens from there. But I think going arena but also having some paper content would be kind of cool, and it would give me more of a purpose. Because I did build a standard deck, it would give me more of a reason to actually, like, justifiable to actually have a deck, because I would be making content with it. I don't get anything out of making content yet, by the way, so you think that's the reason? It's not. I just really enjoy doing it. I've done 100 and closing in on 160 videos at minimum. There are 2 hours in terms of playing and editing, and I haven't gotten anything for it besides, you know, obviously talking to all the lovely people that have subscribed. So cool. I truly appreciate it if you are subscribed. But we're gonna go into the outro now. We're gonna talk about the deck a little bit. I just wanted to drop that. I might bring it up in the intro that this is here, but thanks for watching either way, and let's get to the outro. Okay, everyone, welcome to the outro of the deck. So this variation of this deck is actually fine. I've played this deck quite a little bit, and I never quite understood it but I think it's strictly the deck list I was playing because I would watch it play well in a challenge, right? They'd be like, look at this new Rakdos deck. It's a ramp deck. It's really cool. It's playing Chandras again. It's playing Breach the Multiverse again. And it's doing really well. And it's really cool. And it's really good. And I'm just like, it sucks in best of one. It's so bad at best of one. However, this version of the deck list is actually not that bad. It's crazy. Yeah, so this version of the deck is super sweet. It's also like in terms of paper cost, looking at it right now, the most expensive card, obviously there's Shieldrins on the side. Just cut them. Like, you don't have to buy these. Considering these together are worth more than this entire deck combined, most likely, don't worry about picking those up if you don't want to splurge on the money to get them. Like, you can still operate this deck. Like, obviously there'll be some bad matchups because you don't have a Shieldred, but those two Shieldreds aren't going to change life like that much. Like, optimally play, yes. If you're playing in an RCQ, yes. Get the Shieldreds, play the exact deck. However, this is definitely a best of 3 deck most of all, if you enjoy that. But this variation of the list makes it in best of 1, and that's what I like. The other list I've been seeing, we're not really playing Brotherhood in, and I understand that because the best of 3, it's a little bit awkward. But with Soldiers just becoming so dominant in that metascape, and Convoke becoming so dominant in that metascape, it's so hard not to play this card. Because this card can clear the board and buy you so much time early in the Simic Artifact deck and can blow up all the artifacts, buy you all that time that you need. And it's just really, really bad. I stop hiccuping. It just provides so much value now in comparison to what it once did. So it's very cool. It's very good. And I like it a lot. Now, to lead in, what card has benefited from the current meta? The big score. Actually, normally the problem with big score is that our opponent can have a counterspell. But with the current state of the meta in Cavern of Souls, counterspell has gone way down, especially in best of 1. Because most of the counterspells your opponents are only going to be playing is that make disappear. And if you can kind of play around it, because they're not playing much more hard counterspells other than that, if you can get around it, are you looking good? It's going to feel really good. The Celestis always normally gets canceled between there and between that as well. The big score, you can find an opportunity at any point to play it. It's just really nice. But other than that, this deck list is really cool. Our top end being Chandra, Hope's Beacon, the old Baconator for herself. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy. It only triggers once each turn. Now, as you saw, when we cast Go for the Throat on our opponent's turn, it actually triggered twice. When we cast spells on our turn, it triggers twice. And that works really well with the big score. Whenever you can play the Chandra and you can plus it, cast big score, you discard 1 card, you draw 4 cards, you make 4 treasures. So it's just, it pays for itself and draws 4 cards. It's quite wild whenever that can happen. But you can also isolate your opponent down to just the card advantage game. Because what will happen if you cast this Breach the Multiverse and using cards like Atalia, of course in the Domain matchup, we outdrew them somehow because they didn't rip any lands out of their deck like they normally would. They didn't play enough Severe Stompers to do it. They didn't play a lot of Atraxes to do it. But normally they're just ripping cards out of their deck left and right. And you're like, well, what am I supposed to do? I can't really do anything. Well, the answer to that is if you can get to that late game and you can get that Chandra down and the Leyline Binding is not there, or with big scores that you cast earlier in the game, you can actually get to the point that you play a Chandra and you do not plus it to give them a response. You can actually cast Breach, and that's a lot of mana. But whenever you're playing the Celestis, Iron Crag, a big score, you can actually get there a lot easier than you would think. And with cards like Virtue and just hard casting Atalias, you can actually get the Leyline Binding stuff out of their hands early enough that you can cast Chandra and then cast Breach the Multiverse, triggering 2 copies of Breach to go on the stack, which mills both of you for 20. And if they have less cards than you, you're getting closer to milling them out. You can take all their good cards out of their deck. Other Leyline Bindings can get milled over. And then you can also put in their Atraxes or their big spells or other opponents' big spells and then put back your Atalia into that deck back on the battlefield. You can actually get pretty close to milling out your opponent that way. If you're playing against a deck that plays Jace and you know it, if you can cast that Breach Multiverse with the Chandra, you can hit that Jace, you'll hard cast it for maximum, and then it hits in for 15. And then the Breach copy is milled your opponent all the way down, and it just feels really good. So other than that, this deck list is really cool. I like it. I like being stacked on the 4 Go for the Throats, the Shieldred's Edict, and then the Brotherhood End. Really relying and pivoting into these board wipes more than just like also playing a cut down, which I think is kind of important because most of the list would be like, oh, we have to trim this and to trim one of these to play 2 cut downs because it's so important. It's just like play your tap land turn 1 or your tap land turn 1 and just like be efficient with your spells, and it just feels really nice. So I hope you all enjoyed. I definitely enjoyed playing it this time around. I've had frustrations with it in the past for sure, but I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.